Hello everyone, I'm Robert, here to help you improve your English skills. If you follow my video lessons diligently for a month, I guarantee that your reading, speaking, and listening skills will improve. You'll also become proficient in speaking English. The method I'll be teaching you involves reading a story together with me, slowly and accurately. You don't need to translate the story. The main focus is on speaking, reading, and listening. When you read the story, make sure to pronounce the words out loud. This will help you learn faster. So, let's start with the lesson video for day 2 and study together until the end. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
I love my mother more than words can say, but I'll try my best to capture even a part of what she means to me. When I think of her, I don't just think of the title, Mum. I think of all the different roles she's played, all the hats she's worn, and every selfless act she's done for me. Each memory, each lesson, and every ounce of her love has shaped me into who I am today. Growing up, my mother was my hero. In my earliest memories, she's there with open arms, always ready to catch me whenever I stumbled or fell. She had this way of always being present, a steady figure no matter the chaos around us. I remember one particular moment when I was a child and I had a terrible fever. The world felt dizzy, my body weak, and everything around me seemed hazy. But there she was, sitting by my bedside all night, pressing cool cloths against my forehead, whispering soothing words that felt like magic. She held my hand, and in that moment, I knew that as long as she was by my side, I would be safe. That's the thing about my mum. She could take away the fear in any situation, even when it felt like the world was falling apart. My mother is a storyteller, too. She has a way of weaving words together so beautifully that I was drawn into her tales from a young age. She would tell me stories about her own childhood, painting a picture of a time long before I was born. These stories weren't just entertainment. They were life lessons wrapped in laughter and love. Through them, I learned about resilience, kindness, and hard work. I remember her telling me how she walked miles to school as a young girl, her shoes worn and her school books carried in a makeshift bag. She never complained, though, and she taught me the value of determination and grit through those stories. It was as if she was passing down her strength to me, little by little, with every tale she shared. As I grew older, my mother became my best friend. She was there for every heartache, every bad day, and every triumph. In my teenage years, when I was struggling to figure out who I was, she was the one who reassured me that it was okay to be different. She taught me that strength is found not in changing who you are, but in accepting and loving yourself fully. There were times I would come home from school feeling defeated, feeling like the weight of the world was too heavy for my young shoulders. But my mother would sit beside me, her hand on my shoulder, and somehow, in her presence, the burden felt lighter. She had this way of knowing exactly what I needed, whether it was a gentle word of encouragement or just silent understanding. One memory stands out vividly. I was about 16, and I had failed an important exam. I was devastated, feeling like I had let everyone down. My mother sat with me at the kitchen table, and instead of anger or disappointment, she gave me a warm smile. She told me that this was just one moment in a lifetime of moments, and it didn't define me. She spoke about how life isn't about being perfect, but about learning and growing. In her words, I found comfort and strength. She believed in me, and because of that, I began to believe in myself too. My mother also taught me the importance of kindness. She has a heart so big it's almost as if there's a never-ending well of love within her. I remember her cooking extra food and inviting neighbors who were struggling, giving away clothes, and volunteering at local charities. She taught me that love is not just something you feel, it's something you do. Her actions were a constant reminder that the most important thing we can do in this life is to be kind to one another. Now that I'm older, my love for my mother has only deepened. I see all the sacrifices she made for me, the dreams she set aside to make mine come true. When I look into her eyes, I see the years of hard work, the sleepless nights, and the countless times she put my needs above her own. My mother is my greatest gift, and every day I am grateful for her presence in my life. She taught me how to love unconditionally, how to give without expecting anything in return, and how to live a life filled with purpose. I love my mother because she is the embodiment of everything good in this world. She is the kind of person who can make the darkest days seem bright, and who fills any room with warmth just by being there. She has been my guide, my mentor, my friend, and my inspiration. If I could be even half the person she is, I would consider myself incredibly lucky. So, if there is one thing I know for sure, it is that my love for my mother is eternal. It is a love that is woven into the very fabric of my being, a love that is steadfast, unwavering, and pure. I may never be able to fully express just how much she means to me, but I hope that in some way, my actions, my words, and my life will be a testament to the love I have for her. One of the things that amazes me most about my mother is her ability to find beauty in the simplest things. Growing up, we didn't have much, but she had a way of making everything feel abundant. She showed me that happiness isn't tied to possessions or grand gestures. It's found in the small, quiet moments. I remember summer evenings when she'd take me outside and we'd lie on the grass, staring up at the stars. She would point out constellations and tell me that each star was like a dream, far away but reachable if we believed. In those moments, the world felt infinite, and her words taught me that even the grandest dreams can start small. My mother also had a talent for finding joy in hard work. She could take a simple task and turn it into something almost magical. I remember watching her in the kitchen, humming softly to herself as she cooked, making every meal feel like a feast. She would let me help, showing me how to knead dough, or teaching me the perfect blend of spices, making it feel like an art form. It was more than just food. It was love and warmth she was serving. Every meal became a celebration of family, a reminder that love isn't just deeds shown through the little acts of care that build a life. One particular winter, I remember, we didn't have much to celebrate the holidays with. Times were tight, but my mother insisted we make the best of it. She found some old fabrics and decided we would make decorations together. We spent hours cutting, gluing, and laughing, and in the end, we had the most beautiful decorations I'd ever seen. She showed me that it wasn't about what we had, it was about the love and creativity we put into whatever we were given. That winter, our home sparkled not because of expensive decorations, but because of the warmth and love my mother had filled it with. In everything she did, my mother gave all of herself. She worked long hours, came home exhausted, but she always had time for us. I'd often see her sitting at the table late at night, catching up on bills, or sewing clothes to make them last another season. She never complained. Instead, she taught us to be grateful for what we had. She would remind me that gratitude was a way of seeing life through a lens of joy, no matter how difficult things were. This perspective has stayed with me, shaping how I face challenges even today. Her wisdom is something I carry with me every day. She taught me that strength isn't about being unbreakably, It's about being able to rise after falling. When I went through my first real heartbreak, she didn't try to fix things for me. Instead, she sat with me, held my hand, and told me that pain is a part of life, that every scar is a story and every challenge a stepping stone. I remember how she looked at me, her eyes filled with understanding. In that moment, I realized she had probably been through her own heartaches and struggles, many of which I would never know about. And yet, here she was, my rock, standing strong, reassuring me that everything would be okay. Now, as an adult, I sometimes catch myself doing things exactly the way my mother did, folding the laundry the way she taught me, or taking a moment to appreciate a beautiful sunset, just like we used to. Her influence is woven into my everyday life, in the way I approach problems, in how I treat others, and even in how I try to love myself. She didn't just give me life, she gave me the tools to live it fully. I often wonder if she knows just how much she means to me, how every sacrifice she made is something I carry close to my heart. There are moments when I wish I could repay her for all she's done, but I realize that her love has never expected repayment. It is pure, unselfish, and boundless, a kind of love that exists only to be given. I can only hope to pass on even a fraction of that love to others. So, when I say I love my mother, it goes beyond the words. It's a love rooted in gratitude, admiration, and an understanding that she has given me more than I could ever ask for. It's knowing that no matter where life takes me, her love is the foundation on which I stand. She taught me to be brave, to be kind, and to believe in the beauty of life even when things are hard. I love my mother not just because she raised me, but because she is a reminder that goodness still exists in this world. In her, I see the best parts of humanity, the quiet resilience, the compassion, and the selfless love that asks for nothing in return. I am who I am because of her, and for that, I will be eternally grateful. As I think about all my mother has done, I realize that her love is a gift I carry with me every day, a gift that cannot be measured, bought, or replaced. She has shaped me in ways that no one else ever could, and her legacy lives in every kind word I speak, every person I help, and every challenge I face with courage. Now, when I look at her, I see not just my mother, but a woman who has weathered storms, made countless sacrifices, and poured her soul into creating a life filled with love and laughter. She is my heart, my home, and the essence of all that is good in my world. I hope that someday I can be even half as strong, compassionate, and wise as she is. If there is a purpose to my life, it's to honor her by living in a way that reflects the love she has shown me. I'll carry her spirit in all I do, and if I'm ever lucky enough to be a parent, I'll pass down her kindness, her strength, and her unshakable love, because it's the most precious inheritance anyone could ever receive. In the end, all I want is for her to know that her love has not only shaped my life, but has made it beautiful. And though I may never be able to repay her, I will spend the rest of my days trying to make her proud, cherishing each moment, and loving her with all the fullness of my heart. She is my greatest blessing, my guiding light, and the purest love I have ever known. I love her endlessly, and I always will.